Star Wars 7x7 episode 2799. So I know we were all a bit disappointed to find out that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series would not be debuting on May the 4th. Seems like a perfect date, but it turns out that there is a reason why that's the case, and it seems to be illuminating the Disney Plus release strategy, which also means that the next Star Wars series might take a little longer to arrive than we might have thought and hoped. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, the thinking on Star Wars release schedules, at least, what seemed to make sense is that they didn't want to have Star Wars schedules overlap. And we have so much stuff in the production pipeline for Star Wars that it seemed like we were just going to have wall-to-wall Star Wars all year long. Well, now that we are in March and now that we have a release date for Obi-Wan Kenobi and we're seeing how things are unfolding, it turns out that that's not really the case. As you know, the release date for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is May 25th, not May 4th. It's 3 weeks after that. And so the reason why that seems to be happening is because of the Moon Knight series from Marvel that is debuting before it. So that series is coming out on March 30th, also a Wednesday, and it's going to run for 6 episodes, which means the finale of Moon Knight is happening on May the 4th. Now, we've already witnessed Disney maneuvering Marvel and Star Wars around so that they don't overlap with each other, in particular with the Hawkeye series and the Book of Boba Fett. They debuted the Hawkeye series with 2 episodes so that way they could have the Book of Boba Fett debut on December 29th and not have the 2 series overlap. So it seems like maybe there's some thinking at Disney that the Star Wars fandoms and the Marvel fandoms overlap and they don't want to have 2 series on at the same time. Although, I mean, if they are trying to generate subscribers, I guess having 2 at once might be, sort of a double Big Bang kind of situation. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be the way things are unfolding. And looking at the rest of the things on the Marvel calendar right now, they have a lot of content that's scheduled to arrive in 2022. The She-Hulk series is supposed to be a 10-episode series in 22. Then there's going to be the Ms. Marvel series. That's supposed to be 6 episodes. And then a Secret Invasion series, which is also supposed to be 6 episodes. That's one they say is coming in quote-unquote late 2022. And that's a situation where, the Book of Boba Fett arrived in late 2022. And most of it, or late 2021, I should say. And most of it actually came out in 2022. So yeah, I guess there is some maneuverability, but we're talking about, at a minimum, another 16 weeks of TV programming from Marvel with the She-Hulk series and the Ms. Marvel series. And there's something else that hasn't been accounted for either that we haven't even talked about on the show at all, which is Willow. The Willow series is in the works and supposedly is coming out in 2022 as well. We don't know if they're going to look at that as a competing piece of any puzzle, but yeah, that's in the works too. And then you have the Cassian Andor series, which has been officially announced as coming out in 2022. We just don't know specifically when in 2022. That right there, between Andor and Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk, that's 26 episodes of television. And guess what? After the end of Kenobi, Kenobi's going to end in June, on the last Wednesday in June. That leaves us 26 Wednesdays for the rest of the year. So there you go. That's your broadcast time right there. Now, I don't think that they can necessarily delay one of the Marvel ones at this point, and the Ms. Marvel series is supposed to be a lead-in to the Marvels movie that's scheduled to come out in early 2023. So, that one, they're definitely kind of locked in on having that over as soon as they can before that movie comes out. And I thought with, looking at the Bad Batch and Andor and Kenobi and how the rest of the year was laying out, I thought that we had a reasonable expectation for how these things could happen and how they could all arrive. And it turns out that that doesn't seem to be the case. So I think we're looking at Mandalorian Season 3 and Ahsoka as part of our 2023 Star Wars lineup. I don't think we're necessarily going to see Season 3 of The Mandalorian this year after all. And as far as the Bad Batch goes, well, there was some overlap between the Bad Batch and the Marvel What If series, and so maybe animation plays by different rules in this regard. Maybe Disney is considering animation to be not as big of a draw by comparison, so maybe that's where some overlap can happen. But there is also, as we mentioned yesterday, good news on the movie release front, considering that the latest Disney release calendar hadn't been updated since October of last year. The most recent update is dated February 25th, and it still shows Rogue Squadron on the calendar for that December of 2023 release date, and still shows the untitled movies in December 25 and December 27. So we've still got a lot of Star Wars stuff to look forward to. It just seems like that they're going to be parceling it out a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more sparsely, comparatively speaking. But hey, knowing that it's in pipeline is still pretty awesome to begin with. And that's what I've got for you for the show today. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it, as always. And may the Force be with you, wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.